Here we have the all-new 2025 Cadillac Optiq. This one comes in the Luxury 1 trim level in Argan Silver Metallic. And then we have the Noir leather red interior. We get an electric motor on each axle for all-wheel drive capability. I think up to 370 pound-feet of torque with that. And up to 302 miles on a full charge with this vehicle. Front end here, we do get our LED headlamps along with our LED signature lights. And it really does remind me of the XT4, so I kind of like how they made it look futuristic, but you still kind of get that homage is paid to it. These are 20-inch alloy wheels. Now in terms of the DC fast charge speed, you get that standard 150 kilowatt top speed there when using a DC fast charger. We get passive keyless entry, one-touch up and down windows on all 4 doors, and then power folding side mirrors that are power, blind spot monitors, heated, and the power door lock controls are here. Heated seats, memory seat functions, and an 8-way seat with 4-way power lumbar support. 19-speaker AKG sound system. And there's the driver's seat there. But I want to give a huge thanks to Cadillac of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this vehicle today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, so we're gonna see what it is sitting behind myself in terms of the rear space. This does sticker for, I believe, $55,689. So not terrible room, again, for this to be the XT4, the electric XT4, because I don't think I had this much room in the XT4, so. But rear AC vents are there, 123 prong household plug-in, 2 USB-C charge ports, little storage tray down there. Look at the front from back here. This one does include the glass roof, so that's what the sunshade looks like. And then bottle holders are there in the middle. Soft touch lighting there. There's a child lock on, so bear with me one moment. Those are manual, so unlock there. Yeah, $55,689 is the sticker price. To the back end, LED tail lamps full. Nice look, and it really does almost look identical to, it's crazy how it can look like the Lyriq and the XT4 from the back. And sorry if you hear that popping noise, somebody's going crazy with an exhaust out here and it's very loud. But it could be worse, could be wind noise. I'm hoping this is working. This little muffle I put on here. But top tethers for the back seats are integrated in the seats themselves. Seat back pockets, or the side pockets in the cargo space are on both sides, which is great. And then a little extra storage down here. Now as we come around to the rear passenger side, I'm gonna fold the seats flat. There's a little latch there, just pull on it, folds completely flat, and you can run longer objects through. And pretty easy to pop it back into place. And then the front passenger seat, this is a 6-way seat. And then you have the 4-way lumbar support there as well. But heated seats, those controls are there. Get a glove compartment. I'm gonna show you the screen a little bit, but I'm gonna open this real quick. And you open that through the screen itself. And then tons of storage here in this middle part. If you wanna put a handbag or something like that. You do have 2 USB-C ports right over there. Just get a zoom in on that because they're hidden, but they're in a good place, I think, because you also have a big storage pocket in here as well with a light. Now as we come back around to the front, we're just gonna take a quick look at what would be the typical engine bay. And here you just get your front mounted electric motor. Now let's check out the turn signals. So like on the Lyriq, I like that you can literally see these from the side just for added visibility. And then we have the ones in the side mirrors and the ones up top here. Let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So turn the steering wheel this way. Leather wrapped here. Super Cruise indicator, Super Cruise sensor. And I'm gonna come over to this left side behind the steering wheel real quick. Your headlamps, you don't have a traditional stock for those, so you can activate them from the screen or from over here on the side, which I really like. You can activate them on the side here, set them to auto, turn that lane keeping system on or off, and then you can it's not wanting to feel my hand right now. Then you can go through here and turn on the trip meter if you want to. And then you have a few different views for the gauge cluster. So just really adjustable. And then you can link or unlink the gauges to the drive modes. So I'm gonna leave it like it is and leave this mode on here. But a quick rundown of the screen here. Now we do have AM, FM, XM, Bluetooth audio, and then we have USB drive, Google News, and then Amazon Alexa. No Google or no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto here, but we do get the Google Maps system and a lot of controls in here, including the auto park assist, the charge port door, the rear window lock, and then the seat massage. You could turn that on or off there. So I like that you still have that, because there's not a button for it like on the Lyriq. You have to actually go on the screen to activate it. But ambient lighting is here. And then you also have the, oh wait, that does massage. No, it doesn't. Okay, that's weird. But anyways, ambient lighting, when that's equipped, you can change the colors here. And then the vehicle status, tire pressure monitors, and energy info is pretty much all that's in there. And then your drive modes are right in here. But just want to walk through everything. Rear seat reminder, buckle to drive, teen driver. I mean, there's a lot in the actual system itself. Let me show one more thing that I always get asked. Go down these system settings here. You can change your language, units of measurement, right in there. Now, one thing I will say is these screens on these EVs tend to get really hot. The back of them do. So that's just something that I find interesting. I wasn't expecting that, but it gets very hot back there. Let's see what else. And then for your charging, you can just go in here and fool with those settings. Create a schedule, set up the home location. And your backup cameras here, guidelines follow you. You turn the steering wheel. You also get that bird's eye view, and then your side view, and you also get a front camera as well. Now, with this vehicle, there's no push button, so when you get in there, you just basically hit the brake with the key fob and it reads you, and then you use these buttons down here to either leave the vehicle on for 60 minutes or to turn it off. You hit that button there. But dual zone automatic climate controls, which you can adjust either from the screen up top or the buttons down below. So it's pretty self-explanatory there. Your volume knob is actually down here where the typical shifter would be. And then you scroll down, you can click there to mute. Then you have shortcuts for the home page, the maps, the audio, the phone, and then there's a back button there. And then if you don't want to use a touch screen, you can use the scroll bar to go through. And then you can either do like this to scroll from page to page, or you can use this like a dial and you can go through top to bottom there. Center console cubby space, removable tray. You get 2 USB-C ports and a 12 volt down there. And then wireless charging pad there. Rear camera mirror. And then in these new vehicles, your hazards, along with your OnStar, is right up here. And I like the lights here. They kind of remind me of being in an airplane. I don't know why, but I really like that. But yeah, hazards are there. And then with the glass roof, it'll go all the way back so you can have that extra light. There's a view of the back seat from up here. Yeah, I really like that. Vanity mirror. And then up here, intermittent wipers, camera wiper there. And then there we have the front wiper fluid. And for the shifter, it's over here at the brake, pull for neutral, pulling up for reverse, pulling down for drive, and then press in that park there. When you don't have the one pedal on, you can adjust the regenerative braking with this paddle there. And then for the cruise, turn that on or off. You have adaptive. You can hold this X button to go from adaptive to regular, and then switch back by doing the same thing. Again, that's this button right here when the cruise is activated. Heated steering wheel toggles here, and then when the adaptive cruise is on, you can activate the super cruise when applicable by pushing this button. But set your speed there, and the gap adjust for that's right there. Voice recognition, mute, Bluetooth, audio sources. When you hit that audio source button, you can use the scroll bar to go through your options, and then volume can be adjusted here. Track list, radio station presets can be adjusted there. Finally, we have the key fob with remote start. And now I'm pretty sure that the massage can only be activated through the controls here, because when I click this, it doesn't do anything. So it's just weird that you can activate the seat massage with this button in the Lyriq, but not here in the Optiq. And that's just something that's been bothering me this whole review. But anyways, next, let's go ahead and take this 2025 Cadillac Optiq Luxury 1 out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Optiq here, we only have about 17, probably 16% now in terms of the battery. So not gonna be able to give it full power, but I am gonna put it in sport and try to floor it getting on the interstate here in a minute. Now the overall quickness of this is undeniable. I mean, it's a smaller SUV, it's an EV, great torque numbers. So again, I'm gonna put it in a sport and see what it can do here. Here we go. Yeah, so actually that was really good. So ride quality is fantastic once this thing gets going. There's something weird that the Lyriq did it too, and this did it as well, but when I was nailing it going down the ramp, like halfway there was like a weird rattle from the back end. I don't know if the wheels aren't balanced or whatever, but the Lyriq I just drove did the exact same thing, but so freaking quick. It's just amazing how much these things put out. I have the Super Cruise on here, so it's keeping that adaptive cruise going and the lane centering, and it's just doing a great job. As I get to this off ramp here, it's going to cut off, and then I've just got the adaptive cruise at that point. But a great driving system, especially for the interstates. It's absolutely phenomenal. Now, I do want to give one more thanks to Cadillac of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Optiq today. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. Takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But a really practical vehicle, and I'm saying that to say the range right above 300, really good. The space is actually pretty impressive for the size here, but what you get for this price point as opposed to going up to the Lyriq is pretty impressive. You get the glass roof here, the sport mode, the all-wheel drive capability, Super Cruise is a big plus, the dual zone climate controls, and we don't have ventilated seats here, but honestly I don't even miss them in this, just because you have that sunshade there. So as long as you keep that closed, these black seats shouldn't get too overly hot. But the AC controls are also great because you're not having to worry about, like in a typical gas powered vehicle, kind of getting the AC compressor going when it's hot out. These pretty much are ready to go once you turn the air on, so it's great to have that. But I mean, it's just a really nice driving vehicle. The ride is great. I actually like it better than the Lyriq in terms of the driving feel, because I feel like there's a little more going on here. I feel like I can feel the vehicle better. It doesn't feel as floaty, if you will. It still has some float to it, but it doesn't float as much as the Lyriq. And the Lyriq just feels floatier because of how big the vehicle actually is. The mass there is a lot more noticeable as opposed to this Optiq here. So if you're, you know, set on the Optiq or the Lyriq and you're just like, oh, I want something that, I don't know, drives better, I would definitely go with this. Now, you're not going to get as much power, but I feel like this does more with less compared to the heavier Lyriq, and that's just my opinion. The space in the Lyriq is much better, specifically in the back seat, but the driving capability is just, this feels more nimble, more agile. And again, this has like 16% battery. I can't believe it'll pull like that. That was very impressive. But I think a good option if you're in this EV space, even if you're looking at like a traditional, like the Honda Prologue or something like that, I feel like you can go with this and you won't have as much space, but you'll definitely have a bit more luxury. And with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 Cadillac Optiq Luxury One.